The fantasy series, His Dark Materials, didn't take long to become a cult favorite. The storyline, the cast, the characters, what's there not to love? Oh, and did you know that the show's star, Amir Wilson, shared breaking a prop or two from the set? If you want to learn more details about the show, both on camera and behind the scenes, then keep watching this video because we'll be discussing this and more. First of all, what stage prop did Wilson break? His Dark Materials main lead, Amir Wilson, made a pretty big blunder when he accidentally damaged an important set prop. Now, you might be wondering how this happened in the first place. Don't worry, we're here to answer all your questions. Okay, so Wilson shared in an interview with the media website Digital Spy that he got to take a key prop of the set back home once filming was over. And get this, the prop that he got to take home was none other than the universe-opening subtle knife that his character Will Perry uses. And yes, this is the same knife that ties him to Lyra Belacqua, who's portrayed by the talented Dafne Keen in the series. Wilson put the knife in his living room, boxed up that is. It's also got a note on it that says, "To Amir from Oxford to many worlds and back," and instructed him to never forget to tell them stories. The actor took pretty good care of the knife, don't get us wrong, for nearly a year that is, but it only took one friend's outing for him to break his clean record. Amir stated that when he took the prop out to show off to his friends, he dropped it, causing a little bit of it to be chipped. Amir shared on a panel that he broke the knife and had plans of super gluing it together, but the news did not settle well with the prop guys in the audience. In fact, a person who helped design the knife, Michael, messaged the actor on Instagram and offered to fix the knife for him. Up next, Wilson also shared a video of the season 3 set. The video clip was shared exclusively in RadioTimes.com, in which the actor of His Dark Materials gave a tour of the Land of the Dead and its huge set to his fans and the video's audience. The video had a lot of stuff in it, and there was a lot going on, cause let's be honest, giving a summary of everything in the Land of the Dead is no easy job, but we think Amir did pretty decent as a tour guide. He shared that if you looked into the set of the walls, then you'd see that they've been given a lot of attention to detail, and according to the actor, the reason why they're so intricate is because of the idea that the wall is built off of people's memories and objects, all of which have now fallen and gotten compressed into the wall. Another cool aspect that the fans got to see was what the Harpy, played by Emma Tate on the show, looks like before the CGI is added in post-production. In Wilson's words, the Harpy is a mixture of the character E.T. and the Harry Potter villain Voldemort. What do you guys think? Can you see a resemblance? Coming up, here's what Dafne Keen and Amir Wilson thought of the characters' endings. We've got 2 words for you that will perfectly sum up how the actors felt. It's sad. They didn't want to give any spoilers, but basically said that it was similar to the books. And if you've read the book series written by Philip Pullman, then you already know this. It's a sad ending for Will and Lyra. And while most people's stories get their necessary conclusions and certain questions are answered by the end of the show, all in all, it is heartbreaking. Now, mind you, this reaction isn't one we'd have expected, especially since we don't do well with sad endings. But we've got our tissues on hand, so it's okay. Dafne Keen also tried to justify why Lyra and Will's endings happen in the direction that the show took, by explaining that basically even though the ending is sad, it's equally necessary and needs to happen. Both Wilson and Keen also discussed aspects in the last few episodes that viewers might have missed out on, and also added that Will's reunion with his dad in the Land of the Dead and the fact that the teens are separated from their daemons plays a big role for the latter half of the 3rd season. Moving on, what was Wilson's last day on set like? He shared that it was over before he even knew it. Talk about a quick filming session, right? Jokes aside though, the 18-year-old actor gave an outline of what the last day was like. He shared that they started filming from episode 7. Before that, he had to go into makeup and wardrobe so that he could look the part for all his scenes. Amir also shared that everyone knew it was the last day of filming, one that went by pretty fast, to the point that when someone called out, "That's a wrap on Amir and Dafne," at the last scene, the actor couldn't really believe it for a second. In fact, he described it as an, "Oh, this is really happening" moment. And remember the prop that he accidentally damaged, the knife? Amir was gifted the prop as a goodbye of sorts, like a keepsake or memento of sorts, one that you're not supposed to damage or super glue together. Wilson felt that the last day for him wasn't sad, but rather a celebration of everything that he and his co-workers have achieved so far. And if you're wondering, yes, the cast did have a wrap party, which happened the day after filming, where everyone got a chance to properly say goodbye. That sounds so nice. We've got to agree with Amir, aka Will Perry. The last day on set should be celebrated to the max. In the wise words of Fall Out Boy, thanks for the memories. What's more, here's how Dafne Keen described her last day on set. The last day on set was anticlimactic for Dafne. She explained that they spent the day filming some scenes in which the actress was running around with her co-star Amir Wilson, and then later on, Ruta On the last day, it was just the 3 of them, and according to Keen, it was just really chill. Even the context that they were filming was relaxed, like there weren't any tearjerker emotional scenes. Rather, the actors were just walking around, and then, well, that was that. Oh, and speaking of a last day on set, Daphne got a parting gift, just like her co-star Amir Wilson, who played Will Perry on the show. While Wilson was presented with the universe-opening knife, Daphne got the alethiometer, aka the compass-like device which provided truthful answers to a person's questions. Keane also felt like the filming for the season went by really quickly. The actress shared that when they started, she thought it's going to be an extremely long process, because 7 months of filming does not sound like a piece of cake. But then she was surprised to find out that the time went by really quickly. She also explained that she can't believe that the series is over, mainly because His Dark Materials happened throughout her teenage years. Daphne recalled that she had been through all the ups and downs during the show, and not to forget that while she went through the process, her castmates remained a constant for her through it all, which is probably why it felt super weird for her to leave that part of herself. Not to mention, here's what Daphne and Amir thought of their character's journey in Season 3. For Wilson, he enjoyed the fact that throughout the events of Season 3, his character Will Perry became much more confident in himself. He also shared that it was fun to be able to explore a different type of world to what the actors and the audience were used to in the previous season, while Daphne shared that it was fun exploring all the trauma that her character, Lyra, endured in Season 3. She also liked her relationship with Will, because it was fun for her to play around with and explore. Another relationship that she enjoyed was that of Lyra and Mrs. Coulter. Another aspect of Season 3 that the actress enjoyed was when Lyra is able to reunite with Roger and Lee in the Land of the Dead, and then even makes them meet Will later on. And finally, will there be a 4th season? We're sad to share that there won't be a 4th season of His Dark Materials. That's because the series is adapted from the trilogy written by British novelist Philip Pullman. The trilogy includes The Northern Kingdoms, which was published in 1995, The Tower of Angels, published 2 years later in 1997, and the last volume, The Amber Mirror, published in 2000, will be covered at the end of this 3rd season. The producers of His Dark Materials, Jane Tranter and Dan McCulloch, explained that at one point the 3rd season was almost going to be split into 2 parts, and the reason for such a drastic decision was because the book, The Amber Mirror, was quite meaty information-wise, and obviously had enough potential for the content to stretch over 2 seasons. Yes, 2 seasons, you heard correct, but then they opted for sticking to Season 3 as the final season, because it would have proved tricky to move around the order of episodes just for the sake of adding an extra story, Mary Malone's, and cited that they didn't want to spoil the rhythm, so 8 episodes was the right time to say goodbye to the saga. According to McCulloch, the reason why His Dark Materials planned ahead for a 2022 release of Season 3 was so that it could have a more adult feel in adapting the Amber Spyglass, after letting the young stars grow up a bit more, which would essentially make it easier for them to tackle the more difficult, darker themes of the Amber Spyglass. And with that, that's a wrap on today's video. What are your thoughts on the last season of His Dark Materials? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.